A reading from the book of Exodus, beginning at chapter 16, verse 2. The whole congregation of the Israelites complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by the hand of the Lord in Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots and ate our fill of bread. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." Then the Lord said to Moses, "I am going to rain bread from heaven for you, and each day the people shall go out and gather enough for that day. In that way, I will test them, whether they will follow my instruction or not. On the 6th day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather on the other days." So Moses and Aaron said to all the Israelites, "In the evening you shall know that it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt, and in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your complaining against the Lord. For what are we that you complain against us?" And Moses said, "When the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening and your fill of bread in the morning, because the Lord has heard the complaining that you utter against him, what are we? Your complaining is not against us, but against the Lord." Then skipping to verse 13. In the evening, quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew around the camp. When the layer of dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a fine, flaky substance, as fine as frost on the ground. When the Israelites saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. Moses said to them, "It is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat." Holy wisdom, holy word. Thanks be to God. Ma-na, or man-hu. That's Hebrew for "what is it?" I invite you to a time of imagining. I invite you, if you are comfortable to do so, to close your eyes and imagine with me. God's people were stumbling through the wilderness, half-starved. See their thinning bodies, the patches where their hair is falling out. Imagine their rumbling, cramping stomachs, their cramping leg muscles. Remember from your own life true, deep hunger, the kind of hunger that can make you faint. They wondered whether it might not be better to be living slaves than dead, freed people. Imagine thinking being a slave was preferable to whatever you were experiencing right at that moment. And God answered their cries for bread with manna. "Ma-na, what is it?" they said. Later in this chapter, we can read, "It's like coriander seed, white, with a taste like wafers made from honey." And it sustained these people along with quail and water from a mysterious well. It sustained them. For 40 years, it sustained them. Imagine it in your hands. See white seeds, maybe like rice. Imagine holding it close to your face and inhaling the honeyed aroma. Imagine this is your first food in days, maybe longer. That's not to say they loved it. Later, in an incident you can find in the book of Numbers, they complain about it. They remember again and they moan loudly about the food they ate in Egypt, the fish free from the water, the cucumbers, the fragrant melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at, they say. So they put their baking skills to work. They grind it in mills. They beat it with mortars. They boil it in pots and make cakes out of it. And the cakes are good. They taste as if they've been baked with fresh oil. Manna. What is it? Is it bread from heaven, as we are taught? The bread of angels. It's not a gorgeous confection from baked euphoria, I can tell you that. It is bread for survival. It's like the lembas that the elves make and the hobbits carry in The Lord of the Rings. It's something to get you through. It's bread for the day. Literally, it melts in the midday sun if you don't get it first thing. It is like the bread we pray for when we say, "Give us this day our daily bread." It's what is needed to survive. What do you need? What do you need in order to survive? What do you need to keep body and soul intact? What do you need from God right now, in this time and place? What exactly would get you through? Manna. What is it? Tell God now. Open your heart for these few moments. Invite God in and tell God what you need.